What if it's time to stop complaining about current culture and to create your own? Hey ladies, I'm back, and today I want to talk about a concept that I didn't really understand or realize that I was doing. I guess I did it unintentionally. But when I look back on my life, I've realized moment over moment that I've been doing this all along. And constantly I question, how can one person succeed and the other fail when they're both trying to, why is one person successful at something and not the other? And I'm convinced it is associated with courage, belief systems, and worthiness. So here's the thing. Too often I see people pushing against something that is no longer serving them. And what I mean by that is a culture that is not in service of the greater good. And I come across from so many people who want to make an impact in the world, but are trying to do it in the current systems that are built that do not set people up for success. So I think about the educational system. Of course, there's the government system. There is the healthcare system. There's the ecosystem. There's so many systems. And navigating multiple aspects of most of those systems, I've had to ask myself really important questions that lead back to the same internal conversation that I have to have with myself. If I am unwilling to or unable to change the system, I just have to create my own culture. So the more I get to work with parents, the more I help women create sustainable lives, the more I see this culture of motherhood that, and I don't know about you, but it's like the increased pressure and epidemic are just going to explode eventually. I'm noticing a pendulum swing where people are coming back and knowing like they can have it all, but they don't have to choose family over a career and, hustle, killing themselves. Because let's just be honest, regardless if you have children or not, or if you're a single woman, you want more out of life than just a fucking career. And for whatever reason, the ego starts to take over and go, I can't have a family if I want to be successful in my career. But being successful in your career doesn't also mean sacrificing your life. So when you realize that we are human first, and then we are creatures of work and doers, that's when you find alignment. So I get many questions from parents asking, how do I get my children, to listen? Or how do I get my children to do better in school? How do I get my children to do X, Y, Z? And the honest answer is it your child or is it the system? Is it your child? And sorry, I feel like I'm going to start coughing, so I'm drinking a tea. Is it your child or is it the culture? I was given some information about my son the other day, my littlest son. And for the first time in my almost 15 years of parenting, I was not attached to this feedback. And my truth was that my son is fine and that he will be fine and that he just needs to be nurtured and consistent behavior. But if I was, the old Heather a decade ago, I would have thought there was something wrong with him. I would have got him tested. I would have gone through all of this, trial and error to get him perfect to this person's standards. And I think, is it my child that needs help? Or is it the system that he is taught in that needs help? And I know the answer to that. And the answer isn't my son. The answer is the system. So with this ache and this desire that I've had to figure out how to homeschool my children, or I don't even know what I want to call it. I want to do like a hybrid. And I truly believe that there's a big movement coming, a big awakening, that what is not working in the world is coming to arise. And children's behavior is also an extension of that. An extension of the symptoms of our wounds as adults. An extension of the systems of the disconnects within ourselves when we don't understand how our emotions play out in real life, when we don't have control over our vocal cords and using our voice. We cannot teach the next generation to do the same. So when we as adults are creating these systems and culture that children are brought into, let it be academics, social settings, we're realizing now, or hopefully you've already realized this, that we adults have created this monster. And we're inserting wise little souls that, yes, I understand some children are cray-cray. I get that. But they're here to teach us something. That child that drives you crazy is here to teach you and show you that life is meant to be questioned. That systems are meant to evolve. That culture changes. And the more we ask ourselves, how do I want to feel when I am raising my children, when I'm spending X amount of hours a week working to provide for my family? Am I on this hamster wheel? Or am I actually doing something about it to get off? So that's my thought for you today. Are you just stuck in the system? Or are you jumping out of it, taking the courageous action to be the change you want to see?